Alright, so in this video, I want to speak a little bit more about the levels to the game, right? And we actually call this the 7 levels of heaven, because my belief is that although there might be something that we experience after we pass on in this life and we move away from the physical into the non-physical and go back to where we were before in that source, my belief is that although there could be a heaven in that realm, there is also different dimensions of this realm that we can be a part of. Because I know that I've been through certain dark times of my life, which I could quote unquote call like the hell. And I know how that feels. If you're watching this video right now, then you've probably been through hell before on earth. So you know what that feels like. And the aim of this video is to teach you a little bit more about what heaven can be like on earth through going through the 7 levels of heaven on earth, 7 levels to the game. So I'm going to break down every single one of these levels real quick, and then we'll move on to the next video. But the first level that we can experience is a level that's unlocked once you start to tap into the power within your heart. And that is the level of love. When you experience love, so many people say that, man, when I'm in love, nothing else matters. I could be broke, I could be poor, but as long as I'm in love with whoever I'm partnered with, or my family, my children, then I don't really care. And the reason why that they have this feeling is because this is one of the levels of heaven that they get to experience. But they believe that this is all that there is, or all that they're capable of, because they don't have the level of potential belief in themselves. So the level of love is a great place to experience this. That's not where you want to stay, right? You want to be able to expand upon that. Now, the thing about this level is some people skip this level and go straight to the level of intelligence, because that's the second level, and they don't really get to experience love and intelligence together as unison, because that's the marriage of the masculine and the feminine. A lot of people seem to think that you better partner with somebody else to become your other half, but really this is all possible for you to experience within yourself. You have masculine and feminine energy within you, the love being the feminine and the masculine being the intelligence, right? It's like the logical mind and the emotional mind. When they come together, that's when you get to experience both happens within you, which is the fullness of yourself. And as you experience the fullness of yourself, the love and the intelligence together, then you can start to go to the third part, the third level to the game, the third level of heaven, which automatically unlocks pretty much when you have the unity of these two. So it's the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, which then allows us to tap into what we call the superconscious mind. And when we're in the superconscious mind, fear, right? That's one of the devils as well, which I'll go into the next video. But this fear no longer is a threat, because now you've unlocked another place within you, another level of heaven, which we call bravery. And now you have the courage to go towards whatever it is that you want to and overcome those obstacles that come in your way that seem like they're these huge obstacles that are possible to overcome. And you can only do that and take that leap of faith. You can only take those risks when you have both the rational mind and the irrational mind, the emotional and the logical mind working together in harmony and unison. So the level above this is where we call the level of longevity. So what this really means is that once you've got all 3 of these things together, right, now it's about how long are you able to maintain this space of, and not just this space as well, but the future levels. Because a lot of people go and skip this level of longevity when they don't necessarily set in stone where it is that they ultimately want to go. So they experience heaven, but they experience it short term. And that's like short-term pleasure. That's like the immediate gratification that I was speaking about when it comes to happiness. And every single person wants to be more happy, wants to experience more moments of pleasure. So it's important that you also unlock that level of longevity, because once it's unlocked, we can experience it for such a long term. The level above this is what we call the level of order. Right? So although you might have the intention set now for longevity, it's about experiencing that next level of heaven, which is where you're in a place of order and things are organized, right? Things have become a little bit more systematic, things are more reliable. It's kind of like when you work in a corporation, for example, they make everything seem like this is heaven, but it's not really your heaven, because you're in somebody else's heaven. in your own space, in your own place where you want to be and doing the things that you love doing. So you're not experiencing the full heaven within, you're experiencing it in somebody else's without, if that makes sense. And then the next level of this is the level that we call impact. So now when you're impacting, you can help other people experience that external heaven. But the idea with impact really is that you're allowing people at the highest level to experience the inner results as well as the outer results for themselves, not just the outer results. And that's my biggest problem with like the major corporations, the traditional 9-to-5s, is that yes, they'll give you some external validation and some external rewards, but how often do they really change your internal? How often do they really change you within in terms of your heart and your mind and your guts? They don't really have too much of a care about that because they know how to program you and condition you to work in a certain type of way. So that's the level number 6, which is the level heaven of impact. And then the final and pinnacle level is where we start to experience what a lot of people come to me and say that they really truly want. They really want to be at the pinnacle level of creating things like generational wealth. They want to be able to become legacy makers. So this is why we call this level the level of legacy. That's where it's not just about what you do for this generation in terms of how you impact. It's what you leave as a legacy. It's what you leave when you're no longer present. So many of my mentors are business owners who are not just 6 to 7-figure earners, but 8 to 9-figure earners. They have created legacy within their own lifetime. So they get to experience this level even before they passed on, because the legacy is what is left when you're no longer even present. So this is not just impact, but this is residual impact. Because think about it, we've all heard about passive income, residual income, where you're earning without even necessarily being physically present and doing the work. Well, the same thing can happen when it comes to impact. When you are making an impact without your physical presence. And that is the highest level of heaven we get to experience whilst we're still here on this earth. And this is all possible for you. So that's the 7 levels to the game of life. You want to make sure you have them written down and think a little bit about where you're at right now, which one of these levels you might unlock before or that you might be experiencing right now, but which ones are you missing out on? Which ones haven't you got to experience, or which ones do you really want to tap into and start focusing on how you can actually get there, and put that as an idea in your mind as to how this is possible for every single one of you, as long as you follow all the instructions of this course that I've laid out, and then we put together the plan so that you know exactly how to get there and unlock those levels. But in the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the things that, the locks that are in place right now within you or within somewhere in your life that you need to find the key for to unlock that level so that you can experience the heaven in this life that you really want to, as well as in the next one as well. All right, take care. I'll see you soon.